The acrid scent of blood hung heavy in the stale air as Maya, Quinn, Brooke, and Taylor sprinted through the twisted corridors of gates of insanity. The booming laughter of their masked pursuer echoed behind them, a constant reminder of the predator stalking their every move. Time had become their most precious commodity. With each agonizing second, the killer gained ground. His twisted glee a chilling counterpoint to their mounting terror. Panic threatened to consume them, but a flicker of defiance burned bright in Maya's eyes. They wouldn't succumb to despair. Not yet. Their frantic escape was a blur of disorienting turns and dead ends. Every rustle of leaves, every creak of the decaying structure, sent shivers down their spines. The carefully crafted macabre scenes of the haunted house now seemed horrifyingly real. A twisted playground designed to ensnare and torment. Just when hope seemed to dwindle to a flickering ember, Quinn, ever the resourceful one, spotted a hidden maintenance hatch tucked away in a darkened corner. With a surge of adrenaline, they pried it open, revealing a narrow passage that plunged into the inky blackness. Without hesitation, they squeezed through the opening, the stale metallic tang of the tunnels assaulting their nostrils. The cramped space offered a temporary reprieve from their pursuer, but it was a gamble. They were venturing into the unknown, the labyrinthine underbelly of Hellfest, with no guarantee of finding an exit. As they navigated the damp, echoing tunnels, guided only by the dim glow of Brooke's phone flashlight, the oppressive silence felt heavier than the screams they had just escaped. Every creak of their footsteps, every drip of water, echoed in the confined space. Their fear a tangible entity pressing down on them. Suddenly, a distant clanking sound sent chills down their spines. Their pursuer was close, perhaps following another hidden passage, their twisted game far from over. Despair threatened to engulf them, but Maya refused to let it win. "We need to find a way out of here," she whispered, her voice trembling but resolute. "There has to be another exit, another way to get to the park grounds." Fueled by a desperate hope, they pressed on, their movements fueled by adrenaline and a primal need to survive. The oppressive darkness seemed to stretch on endlessly, a physical manifestation of the fear gnawing at their hearts. Then, a glimmer of light pierced the gloom. With pounding hearts, they scrambled towards it, emerging into a dusty chamber filled with discarded tools and medical supplies. It was a chilling discovery, a testament to the horrors that had likely unfolded within these hidden walls. But amidst the fear, a spark of hope ignited. Perhaps, within this forgotten chamber, lay the key to their escape. With renewed determination, they scoured the room, their eyes scanning for anything that could offer them an advantage. The chamber could hold a map, a hidden exit, or perhaps even a weapon, anything to turn the tide in their desperate fight for survival. The pulsating music of Hellfest, a cacophony of screams and heavy metal, throbbed through Maya's chest as she navigated the twisted labyrinth of Carney's revenge. Her friends, a motley crew seeking thrills, were scattered ahead. Maya, never a fan of horror, found herself clinging to the frayed edge of rationality. Suddenly, a blood-curdling shriek pierced the manufactured mayhem. Her heart hammered against her ribs. Had Quinn, the self-proclaimed horror aficionado, finally gotten his scare? Then, through the flickering strobe lights, Maya glimpsed it, a figure. Tall and gaunt, clad in a grotesque clown mask with a perpetually wide, crimson smile. In its hand, glinting wickedly, was a butcher knife. Panic clawed at Maya's throat. This wasn't part of the show. The figure vanished into the maze's depths. Adrenaline jolting her system, Maya sprinted, desperately searching for her friends. She found Brooke, tears streaming down her face, babbling incoherently about Gavin, the timid one, being snatched away. Fear, cold and primal, settled into Maya's gut. It was a hunt, and they were the prey. The next hours were a blur of terror. They stumbled through macabre attractions, the line between performance and reality blurring. A chainsaw revved, sending them scrambling. A possessed doll, its eyes glowing red, chased them down a darkened corridor. Every corner held the potential for a brutal attack. Just when exhaustion threatened to paralyze them, they found a rickety maintenance hatch. With shaking hands, Maya pried it open. They squeezed through, landing in a labyrinth of dusty tunnels. The stale air hung heavy with the smell of oil and fear. Here, the only screams were their own ragged breaths. As they navigated the metal bowels of Hellfest, fueled by a desperate need for survival, their bickering friend Taylor emerged as a leader. She remembered a map she snuck out from a park employee earlier, a blueprint of the park's secret passages. Using it, they navigated the tunnels, the oppressive darkness amplifying every rustle and creak. The tension reached a fever pitch when they stumbled upon a hidden chamber. Inside, medical supplies lay scattered around, a chilling testament to the seriousness of the situation. It was then they realized they weren't the first. A trail of blood led out of the room towards the park's twisted centerpiece, Gates of Insanity. Knowing their pursuer would likely be drawn there, they devised a desperate plan. Using discarded tools they found in the chamber, they rigged a trap, a snare with dangling chains and metal pipes. With bated breath, they crept towards the towering monstrosity, a macabre cathedral of twisted metal and howling ghouls. As they inched through the attraction, the killer materialized before them, the cruel smile on its mask mocking their fear. A desperate brawl ensued. Maya, fueled by a primal urge to survive, landed a blow on the figure's arm with a wrench, eliciting a yelp of pain. The moment of surprise was enough. The trap they had set went off with a deafening clang. The killer, entangled in the chains, roared in fury. Using stolen walkie-talkies they found in the medical chamber, they managed to contact a lone security guard lingering after the park's official closing. The final showdown was brutal. The killer, fueled by a dark madness, used his twisted knowledge of the maze to turn its horrors against them. But they fought back, fueled by a desperate will to live. In the end, it was Brooke who landed the final blow, a stray axe meant for them buried into the killer's chest. As the sirens wailed in the distance, they stumbled out of the gates of Hellfest. Forever changed by the horrors they had witnessed. The night was far from over, filled with police reports and the dawning realization of the trauma they had endured. But one thing was certain, they had survived the cat and mouse chase in Hellfest, their bond forged anew in the crucible of fear. The aftermath could explore the psychological toll, the investigation, and the chilling realization that the darkness they encountered might not be contained within the walls of Hellfest. Escaping the suffocating darkness of the tunnels, Maya emerged into a deserted alleyway. The cool night air was a welcome shock to her system, but the taste of victory quickly turned to ash in her mouth. Relief warred with a suffocating guilt that threatened to pull her under. Beside her, Quinn knelt by the unconscious form of Brooke, his face etched with a mixture of horror and despair. Earlier, in the blind panic of their escape, they had lost sight of Gavin. The realization crashed down on Maya with the force of a hammer blow. They had made it, but Gavin hadn't. The image of his terrified face flashed in her mind, a stark contrast to his usual timid demeanor. Had he tripped and fallen behind? Or had their masked pursuer? No, she couldn't let herself go down the dark path. As dawn painted the sky with hues of orange and pink, casting an unsettling glow on the grimy alleyway. A police siren wailed in the distance. Maya's heart lurched. Help was on the way, but it felt hollow. The shared silence between them was a heavy weight. They had survived the physical torment of Hellfest, but the emotional scars would run far deeper. The memory of the young woman they encountered in the hidden chamber, her lifeless eyes staring vacantly, would forever haunt them. She was a chilling reminder of their own mortality, a stark contrast to the carefree thrill-seekers they were just hours ago. The night had irrevocably changed them, etching a permanent mark on their psyches. As the officers arrived, their faces grim as they surveyed the scene, Maya knew this was just the beginning. The questions, the investigation, the agonizing wait for news about Gavin, it all stretched before them like a never-ending nightmare. But amidst the despair, a flicker of hope remained. They had faced death together and emerged on the other side, forever bound by their shared trauma. Perhaps, in time, they could find solace in their survival, honoring the memory of their lost friend by clinging to the fragile thread of life that remained. Battered and shaken, Maya and her friends emerged from the depths of Hellfest. The cacophony of screams and heavy metal that had thrummed through their veins just hours ago was replaced by the pulsing red and blue lights of approaching emergency vehicles. Park security, alerted by frantic calls from the lone security guard, descended upon them, their faces etched with a mixture of concern and grim realization. The following hours were a blur of flashing lights, blaring sirens, and hurried questions. Police officers, their expressions serious, took their statements, meticulously piecing together the harrowing events of the night. The weight of their ordeal settled in as they recounted their encounter with the masked killer, the desperate chase through the labyrinthine corridors, and the chilling discovery in the hidden chamber. As the authorities swarmed the park, launching a manhunt for the elusive figure who had turned their night of thrills into a waking nightmare, a cold dread gripped Maya's heart. The physical wounds would heal, but the emotional scars would linger. The carefree amusement seekers who had entered Hellfest were gone, replaced by survivors haunted by the echoes of terror. The image of Gavin, his fate a terrifying unknown, was a constant ache in Maya's chest. Had he managed to escape the clutches of the killer? Or was he another victim claimed by the darkness of the carnival? The agonizing wait for answers threatened to consume her. Days turned into weeks, then into a month. The investigation continued, but no trace of Gavin was found. The park, once a vibrant hub of screams and laughter, remained eerily silent. A stark reminder of the nightmarish events that had transpired within its twisted metal confines. Though physically unharmed, Maya and her friends bore the invisible wounds of their trauma. The carefree spirit of their youth had been irrevocably shattered, replaced by a constant sense of unease and a hypervigilance that colored their every interaction. The shared experience had forged an unbreakable bond between them, a silent understanding of the horrors they had witnessed and the indelible mark it had left on their souls. Hellfest had ended, but its shadows stretched far beyond the flickering lights and macabre attractions. It was a chilling reminder of the darkness that could lurk beneath the surface, a darkness that had irrevocably altered the course of their lives. Yet, amidst the lingering fear, a flicker of hope remained. They had faced their fears and emerged on the other side, forever bound by their shared ordeal. And in that shared strength, they would find the courage to move forward, carrying the memory of their friend and the scars of their survival. The rising sun cast an ethereal glow over the ravaged facade of Hellfest, its twisted structures a stark reminder of the horrors that had unfolded within. Maya, her body racked with exhaustion and her spirit heavy with grief, stood shoulder to shoulder with her friends, They were survivors, forever marked by the nightmarish ordeal. The shared trauma had forged an unbreakable bond. A silent vow to carry the memory of Gavin and the weight of their experience. Yet, amidst the pain, a sliver of hope remained. They had faced death together and walked away, their friendship a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. With a final lingering look at the gates of Hellfest, now a chilling monument to their stolen night of fun, they turned away. They made a silent pact, a promise to forever keep the horrors they witnessed buried deep within. It would be a secret they carried to their graves, a chilling reminder of the night their lives irrevocably changed. As they went their separate ways, the rising sun painting their paths in a hopeful light. They knew Hellfest wouldn't simply fade into a bad dream. The memory of the masked killer and the echoes of screams would forever linger in the deepest corners of their minds. But they also knew they would carry the strength of their bond. A fragile flame flickering in the darkness, a testament to their courage and their survival.